Well. Sunday Service, episode number 20. We got a great one lined up today, boys. Boy, do we have a great one lined up. We got UFC 305 this Saturday. We got an absolutely shit card to talk about from last night. And, since I just swore that's probably going to get this demonetized, but it don't matter, bro. Don't matter. Because we got UFC 305 this Saturday. So hyped for that one. Been waiting for this fight for so long. For so long, boys. You see Drinkus in the background. The little Drinkus tee. I had the cop to support the boy. Big Donut in the chat. James in the chat. Shama, what's up, brother? What's up? IG chat. What up, Oliver? What up, brother? Carl Williams can bang. We got some shit to say about Carl Williams, bro. T-Ball Paul in the chat. What's going on? We will be there no matter what. What's up, brother? What up, Jesus? Peace. Can't wait to recap. Recap on Spivak and Tabura. What a card last night, boys. Oh, my God. I wanted to jump through the window. I wish I was on like a high-story building so I could just put myself out of the misery. We ended up making some money, so it was okay. But just disgusting card. Oh, God. You hope they cut Carl Williams from the UFC? Well, I saw a tweet today that said this from a random account, so you got to take that into consideration of how accurate this would be. But I saw a tweet today that said a dude knew a guy from Carl Williams' camp, and apparently the UFC said that they didn't want him to wrestle, and if he continued to just wrestle and lay on dudes and win by decision, that they were going to cut him. So I guess, that would have been nice to know before the fight, but we didn't know that, and I guess it makes sense. So essentially, you're getting the same type of narrative around the Makaev fight, where they don't like his wrestling style, and they're like, you can't just keep wrestling these dudes up and win a 15-minute decision. Otherwise, we're going to cut you because nobody wants to watch that. I guess that would make sense why he just, stood and banged with a kickboxer, guy he couldn't sniff his crotch, or couldn't sniff his jockstrap, I should say, when it comes to the striking department, because he's trash. But yeah. Where'd I get the shirt made? I got it from online. Culture Kings, brother. Culture Kings. What up, Colostrum? How we doing, brother? Did you know that Plessis' coach tased their fighters if they mess up? I did see that. Pretty wild stuff. Mariscal is a dog, bro. Dude, Chepe. I'm still pissed that we didn't get the Chepe KO, because that would have brought me up a good amount of money, especially if you got that round 2 KO. I had round 2 at plus 750. But goddamn, Chepe's a beast, bro. Chepe's a beast. 0 KOs last night. 0. I think there was 3 submissions? 3 submissions, no KOs, and 7 decisions. So yeah, pretty bad card. Had Mariscal for more strikes than Damon, and he 3 times him. I won hella. That's a pretty good bet. That's a damn good bet. So that would have been an easy money. Shout out to you, Moto. That beta male, Gregorio, or whatever his name is, should never be allowed to fight again. I could have beat that bum. 0 heart, 0 grit. Bro, that guy Carl Lumpus got wrestled up in round 1. And then in round 2, he was like, fuck, I got to knock this guy out. Otherwise, I'm just going to get wrestled up for the entirety of the fight. He knocked him down, and he should have finished him. Like, if Jason Herzog isn't reffing that fight, after that knockdown, he landed a couple big shots. He probably gets a KO. But ever since Herzog reffed the Cannonier fight, when he stopped it early, he's letting dudes die in there. He's letting anything go on. He ain't stopping shit. And Herzog was the same ref in the Chepe Damon Jackson fight. He just lets anything happen now. So he's pretty much overcorrected. And Carl Lumpus knocked him down, gets on top, lands some big ground and pound, and then he just gassed out. And then that submission he had, the triangle, wasn't even locked in. It wasn't even locked in, and he just tapped because based out of exhaustion, like on some Herbert Burns stuff. No disrespect to Herbert Burns. Sorry, brother. The ref was looking for unconscious. Chepe should have got that TKO in the second. Dude, he was mounted. He had him mounted. Was landing ground and pound. Damon Jackson wasn't doing anything except taking it. Could have easily been stopped. What up, Larry? How we doing? Would have hit a 6-leg parlay and Gregorio's bum ass didn't take the L. Fuck Herzog too. Yeah, bro. Herzog, I kind of agree with not stopping the Kazama fight, but if he stopped it, I would have been mad about it. But the Chepe one, it was one-way traffic. I mean, he got a 30-25 on 2 of the judges' scorecards. So he 10-8'd 2 out of the 3 rounds. Bad stuff. Jackson was showing him the back of his head like, bro, yeah, literally. This is another thing. My boy Matthew. Jackson was literally trying to show him the back of his head so that he would get hit in the back of the head so he couldn't get punched. So fucking dumb. I was deciding on between under 2.5 takedowns Jackson or under 2.5 takedowns for Chepe. Unfortunately, you bet Chepe under, and he got 3 in the first round. Yeah, bro. Chepe's judo was the big thing there. It's like once they get in the clinch, he's got that judo, and he's just a motherfucker that's just going to keep going. He's going to keep going and going and going. And if you don't have amazing cardio, I would love to check Chepe for EPO, because that dude's pace was insane. And I know he apparently had some health issues or something going into that fight. That's why he didn't make weight and he almost pulled out. But the dude had a 15-minute pace that was unbelievable. Like, he must be hitting up TJ Dillashaw for the goods. No disrespect to TJ Dillashaw. TJ Dillashaw is one of my favorite fighters of all time. Juice or no juice, obviously juice, but, juice, throw that out the window. TJ Dillashaw is one of my faves, bro. He's one of my faves just because that guy is a motherfucker. There's nobody I think that wants to win more than that guy. And obviously, if you're going to be taking, some roids or some juice, you got to want to win more than anybody out there, bro. You're hurting your body. You're cheating on the side. You want to win more than anybody. And I respect that. But I don't really respect the juice. But I just respect his drive. I just respect it. And so his performances were just crazy back in the day. Imavov versus Allen. Who you got? Wow. Way out of left field there, Colostrum. Imavov versus Allen. Is it a 3-rounder or a 5-rounder? If it's a 5-rounder, I would... if it's a 5-rounder, I'd maybe lean Brendan Allen. But Imavov looked pretty decent in his last 5-rounder against Cannonier. That's a tough one. On the feet, I think Imavov's a lot better with his distance and just his speed. Brendan is a little bit hittable. He's got decent boxing, decent kickboxing, but at times I think he lets himself get hit, and I think he could get hit by Imavov with a big right hand down the middle. But honestly, I think I'd have to lead Imavov just for the straight OV play. As easy as that. When it's a toss-up, just take the OV, bro. That's just what it comes down to. Steve Carell winning this week? I believe so. Julio. I think he is. Had a 10 pick that was obviously a long shot. 8 out of 10 hit Chandler, and Tybura let me down. Dude, Chelsea Chandler looked so bad. Chelsea Chandler looked absolutely terrible. DDP can do to Izzy what Pereira is accused of. DDP inside the distance is an absolute lock. Wow, Big Donut. Big Donut coming in with the vibes. DDP inside the distance. I want to know what that's going to pay. I haven't even seen an over-under on this fight. I just see the money line. Drakis is like a slight underdog. But, bro, I love me some DDP, man. I love me some DDP. Had Gregorio in 2 parlays and over 1.5 and 2 other parlays. Whew. Bro, a lot of people got screwed by Karlampus in that last night. Luckily, I didn't touch it. Only thing I had was the under 1.5, and that hit. Was a beast back in the day. These post-COVID fans don't know much about a dog. Dude, he was such a dog. Such a dog. Like, I'll be honest, I wasn't like the biggest UFC fan back then. Like, I didn't watch all the fights. I was a casual back then. But if you just go back and watch his fights, like the dude is an absolute beast. Like even his fight against Sandhagen, just the ability to go out there with a torn knee, with a cut above your eye, and still win the fight, like never wilted whatsoever. The dude's an absolute dog. That's why he's one of my favorites. Did Tybura arm break? I couldn't see him tap. It was a verbal tap. Yeah, so he got his arms locked in there, and I think if he let go, so he was trying to hold on, and I think if he let go, it was going to snap, so he verbal tapped. Lost 2 units on Gregorio KO. Yeah, bro, a lot of people. Allen by a rear naked choke. Could see it, man. The guy's just a rear naked choke monster when it comes down to it. Dillashaw's will to win and his stance switch striking were fucking great. Dude, just watching that dude fight is awesome. I really, it sucks that he's gone now, and his health has just gone absolutely down the drain. And now he's, back on the juice, trying to get his health back, get his strength back and everything. So I love watching, just listening to him break down fights. Like on the Jackson podcast, when they recap the fights like a pay-per-view card, I love watching him or listening to him just talk about like guys when they fight or like his past experiences. I think that's like such a sick thing to listen to, because TJ tells it how it is. Like he doesn't really care if he upsets people or upsets these fighters. Like he'll tell it how it is. Like he went in on Anthony Smith, and Anthony Smith got all butthurt or whatever. But like, bro, he's just telling it how it is. He's being realistic. He's just saying what he sees. And some guys get pissed about that, but I respect TJ for not really giving a shit and just saying it how it is. Because I think that's how you help people. You help people by telling them how it is, and you can't be afraid to say what's the truth. The truth is, yeah, Anthony Smith's never going to be a title. He's not going to be a champion. He's never going to contend for a title ever again. And I don't think that's crazy for TJ to say. And the fact that he says it, I think that's respectable. Izzy KO. Victor, get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Get out of here. I could see it, though. I could see it. We want Dillashaw versus Jan. Back in the day, that would have been sick. Bobby Weber in the IG chat. Bro's looking more and more like Sean Strickland. Bro, when I get my buzz cut, it's straight up Strickland, bro. It's straight up Strickland. And every time I look at the top of my head, it looks like I have less hair. I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what to do. Hopefully, I'm not going bald, but we'll see. I've always had hair that grows back pretty fast. So once that starts, not happening, then we got to have a talk. Calvin Kattar title run does not start now. Absolutely not. Never has been, and it never will. Calvin Kattar never going to tend for a title because he can't stuff a takedown and doesn't have true knockout power, and he's very hittable. So definitely never. Definitely not with, you got Topuria, you got Volkanovski, you got Holloway, you got Evloev, you got Diego Lopez, you got Aljamain. Never going to be a title run. Subscribe to you from the UK during Aspinall Blaze fight week recently. Good stuff, bro. Appreciate you, Ade Oladipo. Appreciate you, brother. Kai Kara France, best underdog at UFC 305. Wow. Let me tell you this. I have been a Kai Kara France backer for a while. When he knocked out Cody Garbrandt, bet on him there. Bet on him against Askar Askarov as a huge dog. Cash for me there. I even bet on him against Brandon Moreno, and he was looking good until he got hit with that body kick. And then I bet on him against Albazi, and he won that fight. Kai Kara France won that fight against Albazi. You can't tell me otherwise. And then he hasn't fought since. So, yeah, I'm a Kai Kara France guy, man. The guy's slick, but it's a tough matchup with Steve Erceg. Why do I hate Izzy? I don't hate Izzy, bro. I really don't. I don't hate Izzy. In fact, I have a picture on my wall of Israel Adesanya knocking out Alex Pereira. This is one thing. People call me, they'll say I hate Izzy, or they'll call me a Pereira meat rider or whatever. Bro, I'm just telling you how it is. Just telling you how it is. I like both guys. I think that moment of Israel Adesanya knocking out Alex Pereira is one of the sickest moments I've ever witnessed. I was there. I was up in the rafters for one. So I was way up in the rafters, but I was there. I was there in the arena in Miami, and you could feel the energy. And I was one of the only guys in my group that bet on Israel Adesanya that night, because a lot of people had written him off. A lot of people had said, Pereira, he lost to Pereira 3 times at that point, twice in kickboxing. He just got knocked out by him in the third fight, first fight in the UFC. People are like, yo, Pereira's just, you can't be beat. Like, Izzy's not going to beat Pereira. Izzy's cooked at this point. It's a bad matchup for him. He can't beat him. And you could feel the energy, bro. You could feel the energy in that arena. When Izzy walked out, there was this determination on him that was like, there's no way I'm going to lose this fight. And then you see him knock him out. He does the celebration. That was sick. I was in the arena for the post-fight speech. That was sick. That's one of the greatest moments that I witnessed in UFC history, like live in person. That and maybe the Max Holloway knockout on Gaethje. So obviously, I don't hate Izzy. He's given me one of the best moments I've ever witnessed. Don't hate him whatsoever. Don't hate him. Glazing DJ, I think you mean TJ, but I don't think I'm glazing him. I'm just giving him some respect, because a lot of people don't like him. I mean, for good reason, but big titty, easy to bounce back. You think Dern is on steroids? Thoughts on this? Look at her shoulders after round 2. She went from Aspen Lad fat body to ripped AF after a pregnancy. Biggest juicer in women's MMA. I don't know, man. Like, there's some other girls that I would probably look at as far as juicing. One that comes to mind would be like a Natalia Silva. Okay, Natalia Silva has some crazy muscles on her, like veins popping out of everywhere. And Dern lives in the US. Not saying it's hard to get steroids, but generally, you're going to get tested a little bit more than if you're training in some weird part of Brazil. Just saying. But I don't know. I don't think she's on steroids, but. And you got to look at like some other fighters that have come back after pregnancy and they come back ripped. I mean, Yana Santos last week, this last Saturday, she looked ripped as hell. She had a kid like 2 years ago. I don't know. Something about having a kid just builds some muscle, I guess. Fuck Chepe for going over on them strikes. Yeah, that was a tough one. But at least Damon went under, so we hit 1 out of 2. Here's the thing, you guys. Here's the thing. Weird title. Let's talk about the title. I think if you're talking about the title of this live stream, Israel Adesanya's legacy is cooked if he loses to Drake du Plessis. I promise I will get back to the chats, but we got to address this. Kirk Brindley thinks this is a weird title. Let me tell you this, boys. Let me tell you this. What's Israel Adesanya's legacy right now? Let's look at his title reign, right? Beats Kelvin Gastelum to get the title. Interim title, whatever. Title. It's the title. Kelvin Gastelum ain't done shit since then. So you could throw that one out the window. Kelvin Gastelum win don't mean shit anymore. Beats Robert Whittaker. At the time, it looked great. Boring ass decision against Yoel Romero. One of the worst fights ever. Not really one that I would want to throw on my record as like, bro, I beat Yoel Romero. Look at this fight. This 25-minute fight where I landed 48 significant strikes. Throw that one out the window. Beats Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa ain't done shit since then. Nothing. He ain't done shit. Tries to move up. Loses to Jan Blachowicz. Not even a close fight. Loses to Jan Blachowicz. Not even a close fight. Then fights Marvin Vettori. Marvin Vettori ain't done shit. Ever. He ain't done shit ever. Marvin Vettori, not good. Beats Robert Whittaker for the second time. Close fight. Some people think that Robert Whittaker won that fight. Personally, I don't. But essentially, you have the wins over Robert Whittaker. So I guess a guy that he beat twice. And then a win over Jared Cannonier. Jared Cannonier didn't really give him much of a fight whatsoever. And what has Jared Cannonier done since then? He was like 38, 39 years old when he fought for the title. An old ex-light heavyweight, ex-heavyweight. You know, a guy that is never going to be remembered as like one of these great middleweights. Cannonier's good, but he's not going to be one of these guys that you look back and be like, yeah, Cannonier was a motherfucker at middleweight. No. Loses to Pereira, comes back and beats Pereira. That's the best win of his career. The win over Alex Pereira is the best win of his career. Hands down. And then he goes and loses to Sean Strickland. A guy that he was like a minus 600 favorite. Maybe even better. Minus 800. I think Strickland was like plus 500 or something like that. A huge favorite over Strickland, and he loses. That hurts his legacy right there. So if he goes into this fight against Duplessis and he loses to Duplessis, so then he's got a loss to Strickland, a loss to Duplessis, loss to Alex Pereira, all at middleweight, all within the span of 2 years. That hurts his legacy. His legacy is cooked. Then you look at his legacy as a middleweight champion, and it's basically 2 wins over Robert Whittaker. Because the other ones, I ain't really taking into account that much. Marvin Vettori, Paulo Costa, a boring fight against Yoel Romero, and a Kelvin Gat, like, that really ain't that great. It really ain't. So I don't know. I mean, I think if Dricus goes in there and beats him, for one, Israel Adesanya shouldn't even be getting this title shot. The only reason he's getting this title shot is that Dricus is the champion. Straight up. He's coming off a loss. He's 1-2 in his last 3. The only reason he's getting this shot is because Dricus is the champion. And there's like the built-in storyline there. The fight that they wanted to make for over a year. So I could see why they make it. But obviously he didn't do anything to deserve this fight. So if he goes in there and he loses this fight that he didn't even deserve, that hurts his legacy even more. Izzy's resume is overrated as hell, bro. Jacob, I already explained this, brother. Already explained this. Izzy also never faced an elite prime wrestler grappler. His legacy is overrated AF. Fellas, this is a big reason why I like Dricus this week, because he's never faced an elite prime wrestler, grappler. A guy that's going to go in there and go for war, man. He's going to go to war. And you can look back on this YouTube channel. Look back on this YouTube channel. All the way back to the second title fight between Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman before Leon Edwards beat Kamaru Usman the second time. Before that, I made a video saying Kamaru Usman's title run is overrated. Is overrated. Because if you look at Kamaru Usman's title run, it was 2 wins over Colby Covington, 2 wins over Jorge Masvidal, who's trash. Colby's trash. And his only good win to me was a win over Gilbert Burns. So I had looked at his legacy already and said, Kamaru Usman's title run, it ain't good. It's wins over 2 guys that I don't think are good. He beat them twice. So those are 4 of his 5 title wins. And then the other guy, Gilbert Burns, who I think is good, had him rocked early and then eventually got sat down. So ultimately, I gave him like 1 good win out of his title run that spanned 5 fights. And then he gets knocked out by Leon. And before the second fight with Leon, I made the video saying Kamaru Usman's title run is way overrated. And Leon Edwards is going to beat Kamaru Usman. And what happened? Leon Edwards beat Kamaru Usman. Izzy title run is a bit overrated, man. It's overrated. It's overrated. And I think if he loses here to Duplessis, then people might look back on it and be like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, was it really that good? Because that's what people did with Usman. Especially after Leon. After Leon lost to Bilal, they went back and looked at Usman. They're like, yeah, I guess Usman really wasn't that good. Didn't really beat that many guys. You know, they could look back on this fight if Izzy loses to Dricus and be like, yeah, I guess Izzy's run at middleweight really wasn't that good. I mean, you look at, Paulo Costa didn't do anything. Marvin Vettori really has never been anything. And Jared Cannonier, not really that great. And that boring fight against Romero doesn't really mean too much. And then, Whitaker is just I guess Whitaker is just a bad matchup. Bad matchup for Whitaker. I think we could see a similar thing here, boys. I really do. But obviously, if Izzy beats Dricus, if he knocks out Dricus, then that's a huge win for him, and it gets him right back into the picture. This is a huge fight. Huge fight for Izzy. Huge fight for his legacy. Izzy got that Dana White privilege? Yeah, bro. A little bit. But at the end of the day, I have to say, this isn't like, yes, you can look at it, it's like it's a gift that he's getting this fight coming off a loss, but it's a fight that they wanted a long time ago. And I could see why the UFC would make it, because this is what they do. They want these fights to happen, and they're going to find a way to make them happen. They're going to happen. They're going to make a way to do it. Chats are flowing in. Maybe I upset some people. Man. Sean deserves the instant rematch. I made the case for Sean after he lost to Dricus. I made the case that Sean deserved an immediate rematch, because I think Sean is a massive star that has a massive following. And I thought the UFC would be stupid not to keep him in the title picture. Like, a lot of people like him. And Izzy, a lot of people like him and a lot of people hate him. A lot of people hate Sean Strickland too. So I don't know. I mean, I don't really think they could go wrong as far as, marketing style goes, but yeah. Am I slamming DDP? I would probably say 90% of me, it wants to slam DDP. But there is that 10% of me that knows that Izzy's going to come into this fight motivated. He's going to come into this fight with every box checked, and he's going to want to knock out Dricus. Can he do it? I think there's less of a chance of Dricus knocking out, or less of a chance of Israel Adesanya knocking out Dricus than there is for Dricus to just beat him. So I think Dricus wins. I do. I have great picks, but this is nonsense. Is absolutely crazy. Jacob, brother. I got Jacob triggered in here. So, hey, Jive, who's not overrated? Well, the point of being overrated is the fact that people think you're so amazing that it doesn't match up with where you actually are. So I would say Drake is not overrated, because a lot of people still think that he's shit. A lot of people think that he's terrible, but all he's done in the UFC is win, and win convincingly. He's the champ, and a lot of people still think he's trash. So just off the top of my head, there's one. Oh, we're missing a lot of these chats. Sorry, boys. I'll try to get through these. DDP gonna be hella aggressive fighting something, in my opinion, a lot of fighters lacked when they fought Izzy DDP back in the day. Yeah, bro. That 100%. That's really what I'm seeing, bro. That's what I'm seeing, Nick, is like, when these guys would fight Izzy, they would just give him way too much respect, and Izzy would just be able to chip away from the outside. But then you saw Sean Strickland not really give him that respect. Not give him the respect, just keep marching forward, defend all his shots, land some good shots, and just keep the pressure on him. And he wilted. Now, I'm not saying he's going to wilt in this one, because it's almost an anomaly, because we have never seen Israel Adesanya fight like that or get dog walk like that. So part of you wants to say that that's an anomaly and that's not going to happen again. But there's also the point that, Izzy dealing with that type of pressure, not finding success, couldn't adjust on the fly. He couldn't adjust anything. After he got dropped in the first round by Sean Strickland, he comes back in round 2 and he wins. Not really a round that was super convincing, but I thought he won the round. And then the next 3 rounds, it was just more Strickland walking him down, doing whatever he wanted to. So can we see Izzy adjust on the fly? We'll see. But I do think he's going to have to make some adjustments in this fight, because Dricus is going to bring it. And he's going to bring it with a pace and a wrestling pace, a wrestling aggression that I don't think he has had to deal with in his UFC career, or just base it down to his title fight career, I guess. Why does Sean deserve a rematch? Because at the time, Sean had beaten Izzy 4-1 easily. And it was a close fight between him and Dricus. A very close fight. So he was the champ. He loses it in a very close fight. Everybody, at that point, Sean Strickland's stock was off the charts. Off the charts. So much. Sean Strickland had one of the greatest cult followings I had ever seen in my life. Let me just break this down for you. So I bet on Dricus du Plessis. Big in that fight. I put like $3,000 on Dricus du Plessis. I win it. I give that bet out on my Instagram. I give that bet out. It wins. I post my reaction video of me winning money of a bet that I gave out to people saying Dricus du Plessis money line. Put it on. It's going to hit. I win it. And people were so upset that Sean Strickland lost. So upset that Sean Strickland lost and so upset that I made money on that fight that I lost like 1,000 followers. People just unfollowed me because I won money on a fight that Sean Strickland lost. So why would Sean Strickland deserve a rematch? Because he has one of the biggest cult followings I have ever seen in UFC history. People that just, maybe they're casuals and they just like what Sean Strickland stands for or, whatever he believes in, but they were not happy, bro. They were not happy about it. I don't think there's a fan base out there that is as cult-like as Sean Strickland. Maybe Alex Pereira. Maybe Alex Pereira at this point. But at that point, that's something I had never seen before. Never. Underdog parlay, DDP and Bam Bam. My boy Ty got to snap that losing streak, man. So disgusting. So disgusting. Drop 1K on DDP. Brother, I'm probably going to drop more than 1K. 100%. DDP over 1.5 takedowns. If that's the line, I would hammer that, brother. I would hammer that. I haven't looked at the lines, but if that's the line, that's easy money. It's easy money. Is Nolan by KO a lock? Brother, let me tell you this. Tom Nolan's been knocked down twice in his 2 UFC fights. He was a massive favorite in both. He's the biggest favorite he's been in his entire career. You can't trust that chin. But in all reality, he's probably still going to get a knockout. I say trigger because Jacob here is spamming the chat, which I love. I love to talk with you. I love it. This is why we do it. This is why we do the live stream. So I can get everybody's insight and to see the other perspective. Bet me on Bet Openly, $500 on Izzy. Send me a link, bro. Send me a link. I will take that all day. All day. Luana Santos is a lock. Women's MMA lock. Is that what we're trying to do here, brother? You're trying to sell me on a women's MMA lock. Those are the famous last words that anyone has ever spoken. Insert a female fighter's name and saying it's a lock. Okay, because trust me, you can't trust these girls out here. You can't trust them. Sometimes they win. Sometimes you're right. I would not call it a lock. If Izzy loses in bad fashion, he should retire. Nothing else left to do. I don't think he will, but yeah. Bro, send me the link. Send me the link. I will 100% take that. Mateusz under 4 takedowns. Wow, brother. Fellas are getting after it now. Fellas are getting after it with these takedown lines. I love to see it. Love to see it. Prates versus Lee. Who you got? I think I got to go with Prates, man. I think I got to go with Prates just because he smokes cigs. And that's a scary thing, man. It's a scary thing to get across a guy that just smoked a pack before he got in the cage. And he's going to go out there and try to take your head off. So I got Prates. Gamrot via decision. Gamrot probably ain't gonna find a finish. That's for sure. Probably gonna crotch sniff for 15 minutes and get a win. So yeah, probably. Got both MMA lab fighters, Delgado and Antoine Ho, to win Dana White Contender Series. What do you think? Yeah, so I posted my my breakdown for the Contender Series fights this weekend on my YouTube channel. Go check that out. Pretty short video, like 20 minutes, breaking down every fight. But I also got Delgado and Antoine Ho. Love that name too. Antoine Ho. Antoine Ho. Like Kobe Ho. You guys remember that? You should have a rolled up piece of paper into the basket. You say Kobe Ho. Say Antoine Ho. Not sure if you're into UFC trading cards, but I hit a Khabib Kaboom card yesterday. Shit's fire. I am not. I do have some Sean O'Malley rookie cards though. I have like, I think I want to say like 6 or 7 Sean O'Malley rookie cards. Just bought them. I bought them like before the Piotr Jan fight. And I don't even remember how much I paid for them, but I was like, I'll just buy them. I think this guy's probably going to be a champ. So if you know the value of them, let me know. But they're just sitting somewhere in my closet. This question needs to be answered. Enough of these silly questions. This question needs to be answered. What's the question, Brandon? How badly does the Kazama versus Preston Wilson fight for the new BMF title? Weston Wilson? Come on, brother. Get his name right. Weston Wilson's the GOAT. I think they're different weight classes, though. Kazama's 135. Yeah, Kazama's 135. Weston Wilson's 145. So unless Kazama's moving up, we ain't ever going to see it. Well, what a matchup. Great matchmaking there by Brandon. Great matchmaking. Do you think Tommy McMillan will win this Dana White Contender Series fight? I don't even know who that is. If he's not on this week's card, I don't know. Sorry, brother. Let's watch pay-per-view at Coconut Creek so I could take your $500 after Izzy wins and take it to blackjack. I mean, you got to get it out of bet openly first. Sorry, brother. But send me the link, Jacob. Send me the link. Have you seen how Izzy looks now? Not sure what you're referring to. Please expand. Prates versus Brian Battle. Who you got? I got Prates. Thoughts on Billy Goff? He isn't fighting this weekend, but I think he's promising. Crazy. Wild question. Out of nowhere. No lad coming with a Billy Goff question. I think Billy Goff's a dog. I think he's a beast. Promising for sure. A little bit undersized, but a beast. Bruno Lopez, however you say it, KO possibly. We'll see. I don't know. Are you positive all-time betting on UFC? Yes, sir. All kept track of last year was positive 44 yuns. Right now we're almost at 30 yuns. Let's keep her going. Jacob, you don't even know, brother. You don't even know. I am positive. It's all out of spread. I could send you the spreadsheet, brother. Is my Discord worth it? That's a good question. My Discord is worth it if you stick to the script. If you don't stick to the script and you only play a couple plays, or you don't have proper bankroll management, then you shouldn't join. If you want to actually make money, just tell the plays. Tell the plays I give you, and over a year's time, you will be profitable. Not every card, but over the year, you're going to be profitable. It's profitable last year, profitable this year. So if you're willing to do that, then sure, join. But if you just want these long shot parlays, then don't join, because that's not what they are. Don't think people were mad you won money on Duplessis, just mad that they thought Strickland got robbed. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there, Ozzy, but for some reason, it was taken out on me. I don't know why, but don't know why. You're on Izzy. Why am I so confident in DDP? Do I have to say it again? I already went over it. I already went over this, but I'll drop some stuff throughout the week. I mean, DDP, good wrestler, good grappler. Izzy's never had to face that. Izzy, he's going to be motivated, but I don't know if he's going to be able to go into that with a clear mind. If he's going to be able to catch Dricus, obviously he can, but I don't know if he's going to be able to. Because there's just another thing about the matchup is Dricus is so unorthodox. He's not a striker like anybody that Izzy has faced. Like Izzy's used to fighting a cannoneer who's very technical. Robert Whittaker, who's a technical kickboxer. Dricus ain't that guy. Dricus is going to be throwing some wild shit. And you look at how Robert Whittaker dealt with that, didn't deal with it well at all. Robert Whittaker was getting pieced up. He was getting taken down to the ground, beaten up, and knocked out in the second round. Because Dricus is so unorthodox that it's hard for these guys that are really, really good strikers to even find an opening because they don't know where the opening is going to be. They don't know what this guy's going to throw next. It's unpredictable, and it's very hard to get reads on. And then, boom, he's in shooting a takedown on you. It's tough. Lord Silva going to be a champ when those hands heal. I hope those heal very quickly. I can't wait to watch him again. I'm going to hit you with the left field questions all night. Are there any unranked fighters you see being in title contention by 2026? That is such a tough question to answer off the top of my head. I guess Peyton Talbot, bro. Peyton Talbot, he's unranked right now. Could definitely be in title contention by 2026. Maybe even 2025. I mean, the guy is a granite chin, an insane pace. He's big as hell. He hits hard. His takedown defense could use some work, but he's always been able to battle back through it. And I mean, he's fighting in 3-rounders now. For the guy that has that type of pace, once he hits 5 rounds, that pace is going to be insane. That pace is going to be nuts when he's in a 5-round main event and the guy is still there in round 3. They go into the championship rounds and Peyton Talbot's still walking them down and throwing hard with a ton of volume. So I think Peyton Talbot right now, just off the top of my head, I think Peyton Talbot's that guy. It's hard to stick to the script when the state you live in doesn't have some of the apps. Yeah. I mean, sure, but I'm saying the so, let me just make this clear. The positive units that I put out, so right now I'm plus 28.22 units. That doesn't include anything on DFS. That doesn't include anything with better picks. Doesn't include anything with underdog fantasy. That's strictly just straight bets, parlays, props. So we're positive there. You stick to the script there, you're positive. The DFS, on the other hand, is even more insanely profitable than the straight bets, the parlays, and the props. Within the past 8 weeks, we're positive over 90 units on the DFS apps. So yeah, I guess if you don't have the ability to play the DFS if you're in a state that doesn't allow it, then it might not be as advantageous for you to join, but you're still going to be profitable. Brother, I'm almost done betting money lines, bro. I don't see a ton of value in it nowadays because the lines get so crazy that at times it just doesn't even seem worth it. It's so hard to find good money lines, in my opinion, at least when I look at fights that I'm like, yeah, this money line is great. That sometimes it's just not even worth it. Like, I really don't even bet that many money lines right now. And I'm almost thinking of just keeping it down even more, like just betting less money lines. Cause I don't like picking winners. Like here's the winner of this. It just doesn't make sense to me. Cause I'm like, yeah, either guy could win. Cause I see paths for both guys. And at the end of the day, a lot of these fights go to a decision and you're like, you got to leave it in the hands of the judges, or we get a Carl Williams scenario where there's a clear wrestling advantage and the guy just doesn't even take it. So that's why sometimes I don't even want to bet a money line because I don't trust these guys to fight a certain way when I could just take, a prop on underdog or better that I think it has a lot more value, a lot more probability of hitting. So at times, with how good the better picks and the underdog fantasy has been, sometimes I don't even care about a money line because I know this prop on this fight from this fighter is almost guaranteed to hit. Like I don't see a way this doesn't hit. So I don't know, man. Money lines to me just haven't been great. They just really haven't. And I'm almost thinking about just not even doing them that often. There are times though when I look at a money line and I'm like, yeah, this is definitely the side. But it's just hard to find, especially on like last week's card. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like you're just taking shots in the dark. Like you're taking value, what you would presume to be value plays. But sometimes they still lose. Like value plays still lose. And undervalued plays, I guess mispriced plays still hit, you know? Like let's just look at Danny Barlow. Danny Barlow last week was what, minus 400? He didn't look minus 400. So you can't even play, for one, you can't even play Danny Barlow money line straight. Minus 400, I'm not playing that straight. Do I want to put it in a parlay? I guess maybe. But at minus 400, it doesn't even make sense because he went out there and he fought a fairly close fight against Nikolai Veretennikov, and he probably looked minus 170, minus 180, like just a little bit better. He wasn't minus 400. So in my mind, a minus 400 money line doesn't make sense to play. It doesn't make sense to play at all. But am I really going to take Nikolai Veretennikov? Because I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he's going to win, but like your logic would be like, that's probably the value side, but I still don't think he's going to win. And sometimes you still play it and he loses. Sometimes you play it and he wins. I don't know. That's just kind of like my mindset about it, you know? Positive following the Telegram plays. The Discord is probably worth it. Yeah, brother. There is always the free Telegram that you can join if you don't want to join, but I would definitely recommend because we got a lot. Here's another thing. PFL and Dana White Contender Series, I do bet a good amount of money lines on PFL because it's not as tapped in of a market as UFC. UFC gets a lot more money than PFL. So sometimes you can get better lines on PFL, or you just know more about these fighters than the average person. They don't know what they're betting on. You can get a good underdog, or you can get a favorite, you know, at minus 150 when they should be minus 300, some type of thing. With that, when you drop in underdog fantasy plays for this card, I don't think they have lines out yet. I haven't really looked, but usually like Monday or Tuesday. Probably have some out there by Tuesday for sure. Where is the link to the Telegram? It might be down in the description. I'm not sure, but if you go on my Instagram and you click the link, then you should be able to find it there. You're gonna get down on one Friday mornings. If you talk about one championship, probably not. Probably not. I just don't know much about one championship, and those fights are kind of hard to find sometimes to look at. They're like, it's a big Asian market, and I can't. It's hard for me to judge level of competition type of thing, you know, because a lot of these Asians guys have like 30, 40 fights, but they're all against bums. You know, it's hard for me to really analyze if this is a good fighter that they're fighting and they're beating type of thing. You like Duford as an underdog in PFL. I haven't even looked at the lines for the PFL this weekend, but the PFL's in Hollywood, Florida this weekend, and I think I'm probably going to go, and I'll definitely have bets on them as well. So looking forward to that. Do I do NFL? Kind of just for fun. Just for fun. Definitely would not charge for my NFL bets because I never really track them. But I do them for fun. I usually like to watch on Sundays. I used to be really big into NFL, but ever since I got super into the UFC space and creating content around there, I just don't have time. You think Dacheva is coming to the UFC? I don't think she is. I really don't. I think maybe in like 2 or 3 years, but not anytime soon. I think the PFL has her locked down, and I don't think the UFC even cares to bring her in because if they do, then that kind of looks at and gives PFL like validation to like, oh, they have good fighters now and we want to bring them in. So I don't think the UFC is going to bring her in. Are we going for live for 305? That rhymed. We're going live for 305. Yes, I believe so. I would bank on it. Oliveira to 170. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Do you think UFC made the right decision with dropping the British Dagestani guy, Makayev? Here's the thing. I don't think it matters for the UFC if they drop him or not. Like, they're not going to lose sleep over it. They don't care. They don't need him. But from a fan's perspective, I would have liked to see him stay. I would have liked for the UFC to keep him just because that's another contender to have in the flyweight division, which is pretty light. But I don't think the UFC cares. I don't think they're going to look back on that and be like, damn, we should have kept him, type of thing. How do I feel about Kaio? Kaio, I think that's a weird fight, because it's in like 2 weeks. So a main event on 2 or 3 weeks notice against Cannonier, it's a weird fight to really think about, to be made on such short notice. But honestly, I think Cannonier beats him up in the stand-up. I don't think Kyle Braulio's stand-up is that great. But if Kyle can get him down to the ground, Kyle's grappling is a lot better. So, to me, it's a striker versus grappler matchup. When they're on the feet, I think Cannonier will get the better of him. Not that Kyle's like trash on the feet, but I just don't think he's as technical as Cannonier. I think Cannonier's pace is good. He has 5-round experience. So I'd probably lean Cannonier, but I think Kyle's good. Definitely got a path to victory. Gosh, we're almost an hour in. I didn't even go over last night's card. I don't really think we need to. Man. Like, last night's card was just terrible. We had some comments come through about it, but I don't even want to. Like, what's the point? What is the point? I don't know, man. I think Anatoly, my computer's tweaking. There we go. Anatoly Malakin takes Jones and Tom easy. He's very mobbed from what I understand. I don't know much about Anatoly, I'll be honest, but I don't know. I think that's pretty wild for you to say he takes Jones and Tom. That's pretty wild. No more Apex. They got to travel. Apparently, they're shutting down the Apex in November, I think it is, for what they're going to expand the Apex. So they're shutting down the Apex for a certain amount of time to expand it, to make it bigger. So in that time, we're not going to have Apex cards. But once they bring it back, then we might have a lot of Apex cards. They're making it bigger. So I guess they could maybe hold more fans or whatever, but I don't know. They're never going to get rid of that thing. There's just no way. Will there be a lot of underdogs this week? You believe so? There'll be a few, that's for sure. I don't see a card where, almost all the favorites win. I don't think so. Is Prates a lock? I don't think he's a lock, man. Because the leech is good and he's durable, but he's coming off a long layoff. And I don't think he's going to be the same, but even like an 80% of the leech still could give Prates some problems. Just hopped on. We're going to chat about UFC 305. We've been chatting, brother. We've been chatting. You might have to go back and watch it because we're almost done with this live, but we had some things to say. That is for sure. I made a bet on live with, what is it, Jacob? I think Jacob left. Yeah, Jacob Martinez. Made a bet with him. A lot of underdogs this weekend. Izzy likes the dogs down under. Wow, know that. Wow. Coming in with the heat. You like the over 1.5 in the Prates fight. I got to see what that line is, but I do kind of like that. I do. Very sharp there, Connor. Very sharp. Thoughts on the Gene Silva new tattoo? I thought it was pretty sick. I don't know what the barcode means. I would love to hear the meaning behind the tattoo, but it looked pretty sick. I'm not going to lie. Like the like spark of like the veins or whatever. That's pretty sick. Pretty sick. As a tattoo enthusiast myself. Game respect game. Urseg or Kara, Urseg wins easy. I don't think it'll be easy. I actually think it could be like a 29-28. So maybe Kara France plus 3.5 might be the move. Might be. Us Aussies will be cheering for DDP. That's what I like to see, Rope Lord. That's what I like to see. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. DDP. Why don't my 3-leg parlays hit, bro? Let me tell you this. Just don't even tail. Just don't even tail the many men parlay. And let me tell you why. I put out the many men parlay. It's a 3-leg parlay. Rarely would I ever put a 3-leg parlay together that I would have full confidence that it hits. Rarely ever. Why? Because this is MMA. And on any given night, you can get a Carl Williams that goes out there and decides not to wrestle against a kickboxer. You could also go out there and just get flatline knocked out. You could go out there and you could break a leg. You could Chris Weidman that shit. I don't like 3-leg parlays. I don't think 3-leg parlays are profitable. I don't think parlays in general are really that profitable as far as money lines. To me. Doesn't mean I'm not going to do them, but I'm not going to put them out and be like, yeah, this is hitting. I don't think in my entire betting career, as far as giving out plays for like my premium members, I don't think I've ever given out a 3-leg parlay. Like a money line 3-leg parlay. Never going to do that. I don't ever expect a 3-leg many men parlay to hit. But why do I put it out? Because people want it. People want a 3-leg parlay just to ride. So I put it out there for that. If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Because it's fun to do. It's fun to throw a little 3-leg parlay together. Ready for the PFL many men parlay? Brother, here's another thing, Sean. So I put out the PFL parlay like for every PFL card, I'll put together a PFL parlay. And they're usually like 6 legs, and the payout's usually like plus 700, plus 800, plus 1,000 type of thing. And let's just think about this, right? If you have a plus 1,000 parlay, you only need to hit 1 out of every 10 to break even. Now, the first 6 PFL cards, I hit 1 parlay. So for the first 5 weeks, all those parlays missed. So you're down, let's just say you're betting $100 for the parlay. You're down $500. The 6th PFL event, I gave out the parlay that was plus 1,000 and it hit. So boom, you're up $500. You're up $500. So for the rest of the PFL season, if you put $100 on this parlay that I give you for PFL, you're still up. But people expect you to hit a 6-leg parlay every week. That it's just ridiculous. You can't expect that to hit. And all you have to do is hit 1 out of every 10. And there's been 6 events. You hit 1, you're up $500. A lot of people going to be depressed when Izzy gets that 4th round KO. Wow, JR. Really coming in with the downs right there. Thoughts on Steve Garcia filling in against Kyle Nelson? Dude's on a tear right now. Nelson will be the best guy he's faced, though. Yeah. When is that happening? But that's a hell of a fight. I actually love that. I love Steve Garcia. Kyle Nelson's been on a nice run. Steve Garcia by KO. Death Taxes and Garcia by KO. Ghazi of Umar Azamat hit. Yep, that one did. Shout out to them. The OVs, or the Vs, not the OVs. The Vs. Your takedown 3-leg hit this weekend. Yeah, I'm saying 3 legs for money lines. So, I'll do multiple legs for a DFS prop. Why? Because I think I have a better edge in DFS props than money lines. Because a lot less stuff has to happen. So if you think about it, the 3-leg that I gave out this week for the takedowns was Yusuf Zalal, lower on takedowns. Doesn't have to win. The fight could end at any time. And the under on takedowns hits. Carl Lampus Gregorio, under on takedowns. Carl Lampus ain't going to want to grapple. Why? Because Toshiomi Kazama is the better grappler. Why would he want to grapple? He's going to want to knock him out. That's an edge right there. I know this guy isn't going to want to grapple whatsoever. So to take his under on takedowns, I think that's free. Marcin Tybura, under on takedowns. Spivak's the one that's going to want to take him down. Tybura's probably going to want to stand and strike with him. And these are heavyweights. They don't rack up a lot of takedowns. Tybura loses, but the prop still hits. That's why I think that the edge in DFS is so much bigger than anything else. Are there going to be any picks for Tuesday? Yes, Trap House. We got some bets for Dana White Contender Series. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to do a shoey. Bro, I haven't done a shoey in forever. But if Ty wins and I bet on Ty, I'm not sure if I'm going to bet on Ty. But if Ty wins and I bet on Ty, then I have to do a shoey. Just for respect. I don't think I've done a shoey since he won last time against Derek Lewis. That's so sad. That's so sad. So sad. Tybura versus Almeida coming to an Apex near you. Gotta love that. Ty needs a win so badly, brother. So badly. Tuesday gonna feed families. Let's hope. Let's hope, brother. Let's hope. I hope Ty don't take it out. I really do. All right, fellas. Let me take like a couple more questions, and then we're going to jump out of here. So if you got a juicy question, drop it in the chat, and then we're going to dip out of here. We're up over an hour, and I'm getting a little tired. Not going to lie. We lost the IG chat, too. We're over an hour, so they're gone. They're gone, but we're still here on YouTube, and I need a couple juicy questions before we get out of here. For real. I need something that might piss me off. Let me know in the comments. Should I put 3,000, 4,000, or 5,000 on Drinkus? Let me know. 3,000, 4,000, or 5,000. If a motherfucker says don't put anything on it because he's gonna lose, I'm gonna go ape shit, bro. 3,000, 5,000, or 4,000. Let me know in the chat. How much should I put on DDP? Oh, here's the thing. Here's the thing, JR. You think you should put 4K on Izzy unless Drake bets on him? We know. We probably know that Drake is going to bet on Israel Adesanya. That gives us some life. That gives us a lot of life. 5K on Drinkus submission, round 4. 3 to be safe. 10,000. That wasn't an option. Wasn't an option. DDP's game plan for Izzy: pressure the shit out of him, throw big bombs, go for takedowns, look for the neck. If that is the case, and Drake does bet on Israel Adesanya, we got to double down. We got to double down. 10K, don't be a pussy. Bro, if I drop 10K and Izzy knocks him out, you might not hear from me for 2 weeks, bro. Straight up. Okay, I got a fucking baby on the way. I can't lose 10K. I can't lose 10K. But I am confident. I am confident. Okay? I am confident. Bet 1,000 DDP knockout or submission. Here's the thing. I probably will sprinkle on a submission prop. I probably will. I want to see what the odds are. Honestly, feel like this either going to be a hard war or early one or second round TKO. I kind of feel the same way, Glow. Kind of feel the same way. Crucial bet. Crucial angle right there. Calling it right now. Is he going to have a good first round and then wilt and get mauled and get stopped in the 4th or the 5th? Dang! I'll remember that, no lad. I'll remember that. DDP via decision. I wish I would have bet that against Sean. I really do. I bet on DDP's sub against Sean. In addition to the money line. And looking back on it, I'm like, bro, You ain't gonna finish Sean. You just ain't. Gilbert versus Brady? Question mark. I gotta go with my boy Gil. I think Gilbert's good enough to get it done, and I think he does. Little Munchkin on the way? Yes, yes, couple months. DDP winning. 5K and Bam Bam. Does Kai walk through Ursig? Nah, definitely not. It'll be a close fight. I think it's going to be a close fight. 29-28 either way. But probably for Ursig. When's my boxing match against Better Derek? Dude's probably never going to fight me. I'm too big for him, I think. But I would be down just to spar him, just to move around with him. Say the same thing every time. I regret not betting on Sean against Izzy. Bro, same. That was such a brutal one. Brutal one to watch. All right, boys. I think I'm going to head off here. Appreciate y'all for watching. Watch the Dana White Contender Series breakdown. I'm going to throw my early picks video up after this, so check that out. Official picks later in the week. Best Bet show on the YouTube on Friday. And I guess you'll see later in the week how much I put on DEP. But he's getting my money this week. That's for sure. Appreciate you. Like and subscribe. You guys are the best. Till next time. Hey, Job Picks. We out.